Socrates was a remarkable philosopher who lived in Athens during the 5th century BCE. Born around 470 BCE, he came from a modest background, his father being a stonemason and his mother a midwife. Despite not being wealthy, Socrates became one of the most influential thinkers in history, laying the groundwork for Western philosophy. He spent his life seeking knowledge and questioning the nature of truth, morality, and justice. Unlike other philosophers of his time, Socrates did not write down his ideas. Instead, he engaged in dialogue with the people of Athens, asking probing questions to challenge their beliefs. This method, known as the Socratic method, aimed to expose ignorance and encourage critical thinking. Socrates often gathered in public places like the marketplace, where he spoke with anyone willing to discuss philosophical issues, regardless of their status. His teachings attracted many young followers, including Plato, who later became a great philosopher himself. Socrates' questioning of traditional beliefs and his refusal to conform made him a controversial figure in Athens. Many admired his intellect and moral courage, but others viewed him as a disruptive influence. Athens at the time was recovering from political instability, including the devastating Peloponnesian War. Some citizens blamed individuals like Socrates for corrupting the youth and undermining the city's values. In 399 BCE, Socrates was brought to trial on charges of corrupting the youth and impiety, specifically failing to recognize the gods of the city and introducing new deities. The trial was a significant event, as it reflected not just the personal fate of Socrates but the cultural and political tensions in Athens. Socrates defended himself eloquently, arguing that he had not corrupted anyone intentionally and that his questioning was a service to the city. He famously claimed that an unexamined life is not worth living, emphasizing the importance of seeking truth and wisdom. Despite his defense, the jury of 500 citizens found him guilty. In Athenian trials, the jury decided both the verdict and the punishment. Socrates proposed a modest penalty, suggesting he should be honored for his contributions to society. This angered many jurors who saw his suggestion as arrogance. Ultimately, the majority voted for the death penalty. Socrates faced his sentence with calm dignity. He was offered an opportunity to escape, but he refused, believing that fleeing would undermine his commitment to the laws and principles he had upheld throughout his life. He spent his final days in conversation with his friends and disciples, discussing the immortality of the soul and the nature of death. Socrates was executed by drinking a cup of hemlock, a poison. His death marked the end of his physical presence, but his ideas lived on through his followers, particularly Plato, who documented many of Socrates' teachings and dialogues. Socrates' life and trial remain a powerful testament to the pursuit of truth, the courage to challenge authority, and the enduring value of philosophical inquiry.